It's Arukh HaShulchan Yardeh Siman Chav Tes Sif Vav through Ches, and day 150 of the Supplemental Arukh HaShulchan Yomi cycle. I'm not sure how much you're going to understand this without seeing Sugi inside. It's a very difficult Arukh HaShulchan. We're going to do our best, okay? But we're going to get entangled in the middle, and we'll just have to try and get out of it. Oh, Mefarish Rambam, the time the beer low by Kasai. So this is why a beer does not require Kasai, so we shouldn't the beer Chashuva, because the beer is significant. And Rashi says the same thing. He says in Shvu Stav Chaf Half on base. Lokatav Shkosa Kol Yishaim sound like the other Yishaim wrote that beer has other parameters to it. Can Einav Kiyim made the male Torah, so it's not going to be an animal which is kosher or not kosher. Shei Gam Torah, so kosher animal Yeshua Chashiva says Chashiva is a beer as well. Before Shabbos says Gam Torah Bibira, that a kosher animal also has a concept of a birya. And the bracket says, okay, so place he writes as well. But if she made tomato Torah, the only time tomato Torah is when any other made, it's only when it's dead. The B'tmei have a birya, by that case, the non kosher animal is a birya. Afsh em kazais, even though there is no kazais in its entirety, the Torah Tzor kazais. But by kosher animal eat a kazais. Why is that? By the reason simple. Mishum the tzmei leka isun nevela. By non-kosher animal, there's no prohibition of nevela. Kosher animal comes sip gimel. There's no concept of nevela. Nevela is a psul in a shchita. A psul in an animal which requires shchita. So therefore, if it doesn't require shchita, there's no issue nevela. Manisha birka b'chayah. So therefore, the prohibition is non-kosher. And if it's chayiv a beer when it's alive, it's chayiv for a beer. Chayiv for a birya of non-kosher it's alive. Chayiv for a birya of non-kosher it's dead. Forget Torah. Suppose the Torah shchala shein neveil misasa. There, it's a different issue when it dies. When it's alive, it has issue evrim and a chayiv. When it's dead, it has issue nevela. So there, chayiv a bachas mikazais. You can't make him chayiv for less than a kazais. Because the shear of nevela, by definition, is the kazayis. Okay, so what is that? Okay, so there's no beer, right? But he says no, there is an issue of a beer which is relevant here. The special chiddush, a monumental chiddush, a huge chiddush by normal nevela. The meaning where it's not a beer. The bones and the sinews don't join up to make kazayis. By birya, because it's a birya, even though you need kazayis, that's almost a gidim mitzdarif. Amazing chiddush, okay, which is pretty shocking. With that called varim mevorim. With this, the Rambam can be clear. It's clear. The bekan achiv rak b'shul neveil lo b'shul even achai. Here it's about achiv akav neveil not even achai. This is command the chayil lavle varim omeres. He holds like during its lifetime, an animal is not considered to be as if it's divided up into varim. Come forward varim perakei milchos machos din hey ein sham. And therefore, when you eat it while it's alive, shadan lochal she nevelo aleh with this not kosher animal. Does yet have a no kosher animal? Sorry. Shadan lochal she nevelo aleh. Chayiv b'choshu kibbut tmeya. You're chayiv in a kosher like a tmeya mishum birya, which is a major chiddush. Because even though it doesn't have shein nevela, since it's usher to eat, so therefore it's birya is relevant to it. When it dies, it also has shein nevela. It's sort of kazayis. So then it gets you need to have a kazayis because now it reverted to a full-fledged nevela. So it's not clear when it's alive what exactly you're chayiv on if you're without shchita because it's not yet a nevela. And it's not even a chayiv because but it's also to eat. Why? We don't know. But the kosher animal without, because it's also have some. Why we don't know? We do know because mechutz shchita, right? But that parameter of that prohibition is unclear. But that prohibition is such that it doesn't require an avela. So it's enough that it's a birya. But umisasa when it died, shechal l'shein nevela. When now it's nevela, it's a kazayis. Kazayis in order to be chayiv on that rock. But if it's a birya, the guy matzamas, so getting mitzvah from the gazais. That's almost getting our mitzvah from the gazais. That we that effect. In that respect, there is a concept of birya even by a kosher animal. Zesh concept of a pair based in birya, but that we wrote in the halacha birya by a non-kosher animal. Because he says that whether it's dead or alive. The kan bir, and now it's explained that's true by nevela, right? By a non-kosher animal. That a birya is relevant whether it's dead or alive, because in the prohibition of non-kosher, the birya applies whether it's dead or alive. But here it's made the Torah Yeshua ben Chayil Mesa by Torah. It's not that way. By Torah, but when it's alive, it has a shame. Has a canal concept birya, but it's dead and needs kazais. But birya will help that almost like it didn't be mitzdarek. In lifetime is shum ever nechai. The nechai does apply to the live animal, even though it's not a Omes Lebarim. She'll say, they say, no, it is Omes Lebarim. It's as if it's butchered. If I don't look at them, okay, we don't happen to hold that way. Okay, now it's a very, very long brackets. I think it's the longest I ever saw, which describes the Gemara, which we're not seeing inside. So if I'm not sure how useful it's going to be, but we'll plow through it. Rav says that Arukh does require kazais. Uparach, they ask, Melodam Rav, from that which said, eat a kosher bird in its lifetime, which is also, of course, but kosher, this is how as a kosher, not a kazais. Misas kazais, no, is zeduk kazais. The Mordecai, Ben Yisrael, Ben Noach, is going both in a Jew and a Ben Noach. The Shneim Chayav Mishum Ever Nechai. While it's alive, the issue is Ever Nechai. Misasa Kai Al Yisrael, and now which you speak about what happens after that, it's only going to Yisrael, because by now it's available, which is Mutter Ben Noach. Ben Noach and Mitzvah, Rakan Nechai. Ben Noach only as a Shev Nechai. Taris, the Gemara answers, Ben Mashu Basagin Matzamos, that that which it's Mashu means and include the Ginim Matzamos, but you still need a Kazais. So this is difficult because Rav didn't explain that. Right? He shouldn't. He should have explained to us that the birya is effective for including basagim and tzamas. V'kosher also difficult. My kosher means sosa kazayis. What's the connection when it dies? It's shus kazayis. After the shchayv kazayis available, don't we know that you're chayv and kazayis available? Elach dibushu means about this way to say. The B'chayah, during its lifetime, they saw Chayv and Mashu Mitan Birya, they saw Chayv and Mashu on account of Birya, Uven Noach Shu Barak B'Shum Emer Chai, Uven Noach who's Chayv only on account of Emer Chai, Chum Mashu, but he's Chayv and Mashu, but only with Basar, Gideon, Batzamos. Right? So the if the Chiv is only on Emer Chai, it can be small, but it has to have aver, which means it has to have basar, gidim, and atzamas. But it says koshu because for a Jew, it's also in a koshu, even if it's not with basar, gidim, and atzamas. Because it's not shachted. When it's dead, when it's in the bell kicks in because it's gone came marshal bosakin so chayv on kazayis and but there also bosakin and are mitzdarif, which is contradiction. The Rambam one place is one place, the Rambam said one place, the Rambam says not mitzdarif. That's the Shabbatik the Tosis. This the Tosis makes sense. Lo avi do me the Sefer Hacham. Now comparable. I know Tosis is asking. Mamish we saw, but according to what we said, it works very similar to by Yisrael and a non-Yisrael. Chayav Tosef the Chayav Ben Noach brings the Tosef that's going on and non Jew. Chen Rebbe point there for Rebbe says exempt ain't it so chiyuv burial. There is no chiyuv burial by him. For him, Chai Bechel Lav Levarim. I always say even Chai because Jewish life is not Levarim Omedes. But Elizabeth Shim Chai is still Levarim Omedes. Shim says no. Jewish lifetime is Chai on account of Even Chai. God gave a Mashu Baskim and some Squashim Matai. So also you're Chai if you have a Mashu, a Baskim and some which make up this this shear of a birya of Even Chai. V'choncha v'achla beben Noach Potter. But then if you suffocate it and you eat it, of course, the ben noch is potter. But sefta. If you saw chayv kazayis, it was chayv, and the kazayis of the vela. Kanki mashu basa bagin matzamos. As long as this entails has or I should say, I'm not sure I said this correctly before. In fact, I'm sure not. But the chayv kazayis or your chayv in the veil of kazayis, or you're chayiv in a mashu basagin matzamos as a burial, k'moshem taitz. V'so chayiv b'zayis gaki mashu basagin matzamos. Taika to b'sef the gufa mi the pacha rak ben noach. This is inferred from the Sefta, which says by a ben noach pater shmami not b'so chayiv must be so chayiv. Ram pasad lav leivor menace also says Ram where in his lifetime there is no even min a chay because not even min menace. But shapra kov everything works out properly. Shouldn't have the Ben Noach ain't so sheer. Actually, Ben Noach doesn't have a shear altogether. Has to do with a different issue. The community so shy Ben Noach also the things which are permitted for a Jew and forbidden for a non-Jew. But this way does not hold the weight. Of course, I have seen Kov Zayin as he already mentioned elsewhere in a different context. Zayin Arukh he also writes Ochel Kazayis mi Basar. In the basar nefel behemoth territory, somebody eats a meat from a kosher animal's miscarriage. Look, he gets him out because he's eating the vela. And the amniotic sac which comes out with the fetus is also to eat. Somebody eats it is exemption. It's not meat. Feel too much ochlin does not even too much ochlin because it's not food. It's not considered food. Somebody chefs an animal and finds it in a fetus where we say the fetus is mutter without shchita, which is a ben pekua. In that case, also the sack is mutter. If he has a particularly delicate soul, which is euphemism for indelicate soul, that he can eat it. He doesn't. It's not disgusted by it. He can eat it. Ches. Hocha kazayis basar behema or chaya of darim shnishrafu. Somebody eats a kazayis of meat from an animal or of any sort which is kosher and it became treif. Loka gets malchus. Shema says basar treif lo sachil kel teshimoso. Now they eat meat in the field which is treifa, which you understand to mean any treifa. At least you can toss it to a dog, as the HaShulchan explains. Utreifa mura Torah, the treifa which is special in the Torah, zo shetorfa so chayas ayar. It's one which is whipped up by an animal in the forest, going to read, such as a lion and a mare and a tiger, etc. So ofa the race, also if it's been quashed by a bird which quashes, going to Nate Skates a bit like a hawk, etc. You can't say it made a treif and it killed it. The mesa, if it died, if it's dead, I read in the bela, not a treifa. Why would Torah call it treifa? The mali mesa machmasasa. Oh, he could be saif ve'misa. What difference does it make if it dies on its own, or it's hidden by a sword and it's killed, or torva chayav ve'misa, or it's ripped up by another animal is killed? Because lometz, therefore you deduce hakosam medarba b'shenit for lo mesa. That bus is asas treifa where it didn't die, even though he shechted afterwards. Lashon treifa shenechta meza davar. Treifa means something which is grabbed by somebody else. Kamo shekasuv tarof tarafi Yosef. Yosef has been seized. Avadayim b'chaim, it's still alive. This is like the Navi says, Sheach kitera tarefu v'yerpenu. He is taref, but he can be healed. Obviously, meaning he's still alive. And that's it for today.